Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Blake Winterberg, here with my co-host, Cayden Shoemaker. It has been a minute since the last time we spoke with you guys. Since then, we've seen the Pride really find their groove, including a big-time win over number one Westlife. So strap in and get ready, because you're now tuning in to episode number 4 of the official podcast of the Kahawa Pride.
Baby, it is good to be back. It has been a minute since the last time we spoke with you guys. As you know, we are in college. Schedules are ramping up this time of the year. It's a bit of a tricky time, but the schedule for Kahawa is also ramping up, and we're going to try and do a better job at staying up to date for sure. First thing we're going to do is we're going to dive into these last couple of matches. We're going to look specifically at the last 4, starting with the big win over Westlife.
Huge
and then we'll look at a Mawiki walkover win, a bit of a silly one, and then we'll look at a tough environment with Soweto, and then we'll look at the most recent match as well. So yeah, let's just go ahead and kick this off. Blake, you want to talk about this massive win and maybe a tide turner against Westlife FC?
Yeah, absolutely. I would be honored. It really was a tide turner. Like, this was the game, I think, where we finally saw the full untapped potential of this team. This was the game where it all came together. All the pieces to the puzzle just fit perfectly. A 3-1 win, handing Westlife their first L at the time. Just an incredible game. We saw 3 goals go in after seeing truly a lack of offense the last couple weeks. It'd been getting a little better. It got real good against Westlife.
Yeah, and not to dampen any emotions that you may have, Blake, but I will say Westlife did lose again after we went ahead and took them down. Just something worth pointing out on that end. Maybe a cold streak over there. Obviously, we saw them get dethroned from the top of the table, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. A lot to talk about with this game. We'll keep it brief, though. Bwire, another Kim super sub off the bench, a goal and an assist. Man, let me tell you, Coach Kim and these super subs have been hot, and it is definitely just something to keep your eye on. It definitely helps. We've seen a lot of comments talking about, should Kim stay in power? The answer is yeah. He's the member. He's the
absolutely
chairman. He's a chairman of the team. Safe to say, fellas, he's not going anywhere. So strap in. You get what you get. You don't throw a fit. I think Coach Kim's doing a pretty well job right now.
He is. I would have to agree with you, man. The subbing has been great in the last several matches, really.
Yeah. Well, we also saw a Kamau goal, and then a beautiful goal off a corner from Ochiang. Seriously, I do mean beautiful when I say that. That looked like something that you'd see in a top flight tier in Europe, maybe. And then we saw Mwaniki with an assist as well, and Uma stepping in for an assist as well on that front. And then we saw another record get broken. This was back-to-back games of this single match interception record being broken. Otieno set the interception record the week before. Govid sets it again, beating Otieno's record by 1 interception with 23. What are your thoughts on this, Blake?
Man, it just shows how much of an impact Govid makes on that back line. Like, he's there. You see him there all the time, just kind of having his impact on the rest of the guys. Then you see a stat like this, and you see the impact that he also has on the game. So not only is Govid a leader out there vocally, but also by example. Like, he is everything that you want from your centerpiece to your team.
Yeah, and not only with Govid, I do think this Govid Otieno backline. I know Govid's more of a deep lying CDM, kind of a 6, but I do think this Govid Otieno backline is lethal, and I think it's the best combo that we have.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with you on that.
I will say, unfortunately, in these next couple of games, we do see Govid pick up a few injuries. Kahawa was also working in a midweek politician tournament, local politician. They won a couple games, and then and then I think they got eliminated in maybe their third game against a bit of a better side, I would say. But yeah, and then after taking this 3-1 win into the next game against Mwaniki, or not Mwaniki, excuse me, Mwiki United FC. This was a walkover win. We saw the guys out there 2-3 hours beforehand at Mahiga Primary, and it just got down. With time was ticking. Everybody, you saw Coach Kim even kind of check his watch a little bit, and you saw some of the videos, and it was like, you could tell Kahawa was like, where are these guys at? It got to about an hour before the game. They were like, I mean, what are we doing? And then about, what was it? What's the rule? Is it 29 minutes?
So
or 30
the rule
minutes?
is 30 minutes. You have to have your side fielded. Your starting 11 has got to be out there at 30 minutes. That's the max amount of time after the start of the game that they can be out there.
Okay.
Yeah, these boys rolled up 29 minutes after the game was supposed to start. Little did they know, they had to be on the pitch.
and Blake, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that they were laughing on this.
Oh, they
thing,
were,
right?
man. They came in on that bus. There were videos of that too. All jolly happy, and I don't think they were so happy whenever, they had to turn around and take a 2-0 walkover loss.
I mean, they drove that damn van all over our field, lapping up with their ugly jerseys on, and then turned around and drove it right back off because
They did.
the Federation stepped in. I think the ref even stepped in and was like, we're not playing this game. This is a forfeit.
Yeah. I mean, it is. We'll take it. A game. I think we're winning either way, right? I'm not worried about that part, but yeah, it's just a very interesting scene. To come in 30 minutes late and then laughing and then to go home, probably the same color as their jersey. Not great.
The jerseys came back clean. I mean, that's just not something you want to see. But I will say that is something you do see from a 16th place team who is on the brink of relegation. Before we chat about these next couple of games, let's just talk about where Kahawa was sitting. I think they were just on the brink of relegation, not quite. They were a few points above relegation. And I think between these two games, I think we saw the guys really mature in a way after this kind of walkover win. Maybe they saw Mwiki and they saw him laughing and they're like, look, we got to get our stuff together. I mean, these are the type of guys we're playing in this league. But yeah, and then we head to Soweto All-Stars FC, who, I mean, they're pretty solid opponent, I think. 9th right now in the table. At the time, I'm not sure what they were at in the standings. However, we did see a sold-out crowd and really a tough environment for the guys. We saw gray dirt. I mean,
Yeah,
it was a volcano.
Yeah, it was some of the more wild dirt that I've seen. It was, pretty much gray. Like it didn't look a whole lot like dirt.
I mean, they don't know anything about the corner of doom, am I right?
No, they don't. The corner of doom will never be topped, but the gray dirt was something to see, that's for sure. And you mentioned the tough environment. I mean, this was a sold-out away crowd, just incredible energy, honestly, a great atmosphere to play in. And we come out of it with a 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
On the road, I don't think you can complain too much about that in the environment that it was in.
I was looking around the stadium or the lack of better word, maybe just the field. And I was looking, and I didn't see any concession stands. Maybe it kind of urges me to ask the question: is this a eat before you go kind of scenario?
I'm not sure. I didn't think about that, but maybe they got some tailgates going, and if by tailgates I mean right on the out of bounds lines,
On the field.
Get the grills out. I mean, you might as well. We already have cars on the field. Why not get the concession carts out there on the field?
Yeah. I think that's something Mahiga Primary can maybe take up. We really need to avoid this kind of eat before you go environment. Let's wait. Let's eat at the game, baby. Let's get some hot dogs. Let's get some glizzies. Let's get some burgers. Maybe some nachos.
Dude, stadium food is one of the best parts of any sports stadium, and it can make or break an atmosphere. I said it.
Yeah, it's true. And it'll also bring in fans. I mean, I know, some of the MLB teams right now, they're doing $5 hot dog night. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a lot of Kenyan money, but I mean,
Let's get some
maybe
dollar dogs out there, man. Come on.
dollar dogs, maybe some dollar beers for the crowd.
Wow.
Now,
That'll bring the energy.
I will say, you probably don't want to serve beers to the Jacaranda fans.
That or they have already had enough. I don't know.
Blake, you want to just walk us through?
Oh, man. Yeah,
happened?
so Jacaranda, for those of you who don't know, a club who now sits out of the league. They were a pretty mid-tier in the standings until their fans decided to assault a ref. Yeah, there were some ninja kicks being thrown. There were a bunch of fans absolutely all over this ref. He must have really cost them the game or something, because it was unlike anything I've ever seen.
We don't condone any sorts of violence, and I believe we can confirm that the ref is indeed okay.
Yeah, he was good. Yep.
And I will say the team paid the price. This was not their first offense, and it now is going to be their last offense because they are
It is
eliminated from the table. They are. I don't know if there's even an 18th place in the table anymore. I think they just go ahead and inherit that relegation, and more importantly, all of the wins that they got are negated, and all of their losses are negated as well. So we had a big bump in the table after they got disqualified, and it actually benefited Kahawa because I believe they actually lost to Jacaranda at one point. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the scenario. So we didn't, or what would, I can't remember.
I think what happened, right, is it was the inherited loss.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it was the inherited loss, and that was already being appealed. So after this incident, they must have just said, okay, all right, give them the win. And that was that.
Yeah,
so we gained 3 points from it.
We did. I think that was a big weekend. We bumped up. I think that's where we really cemented ourselves in 10th place. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I also believe that any team who had beaten Jacaranda went ahead and lost their win for that as well. So there was a lot of different, shifting outcomes within the table, and we saw a lot of teams go up and a lot of teams maybe come back down. But again, yeah, we don't condone any violence against the refs. It's really not a laughing matter, and it's definitely not a sight you want to see. And for respect to the ref, we won't put the video on the screen, but Facebook is a place, and the Kenyans are very active on that platform. That is what I'll say about that.
This is true.
Yeah, and then our most recent game against Westlife again,
rematch.
Rematch. And coming into this, we were a little bit nervous because, I mean, let's just put this in American terms. If you're the undefeated team and top of the table, right, you just say you're in first place in the league or conference or whatever, and you get beat by, a team that you would view in your eyes as inferior to you, the following game is going to be personal. I mean,
oh, absolutely.
And I would just like to, place an emphasis on not only did they lose to us, but they lost after that. So do we get the blame for maybe their poor run of form recently? Maybe, and that's a factor. It makes this game really personal, right? And I think we saw it. We saw a 1-0 loss. It was a tough game. It was a real scrappy one. And I have a lot of stats in front of me right now, and I really appreciate the work that the Discord fellas do, Connor and all of those guys on that team. I don't think these stats are appreciated enough. For however many Discord members actually look at these stats, like, we do really appreciate them, and we try and incorporate them in our analysis as much as possible, right? Yep. And let's just dive into it. I 3 shots as a team, not what you like to see.
Well, and I think that's like kind of where we've taken a bit of a downhill in this game, right? Like, we've seen the previous games where we're actually putting goals on the table, like we're scoring, we're playing well. So to only see 3 shots on target in this game,
yes,
didn't even have an expected goal.
No,
that's
I will say,
a little rough.
will say I think we've seen worse in the expected goal category.
Yeah, we
Another
definitely
thing
have.
worth pointing out is I don't know if the striker spot is cursed for Kahawa or what, but it doesn't matter who we put at that striker position, at that number 9 position. It seems like they can't get any shots on target. And I don't know if it's a Coach Kim thing. I don't know if it's I don't know what it is, but to not have any shots on target from that 9 spot, that's a bit alarming. I mean, .01 expected goals from the striker spot.
Yeah, you don't like to see that at all. It's tough. And what do, right? On a side note, I would like to say, shout out to Okech. He completed 94% of his passes, 94% on the accuracy tab there, 17 of 18. He was about, the only one with a high number that wasn't subbed in.
Yeah.
Everybody else fell a little bit short. He kind of boosted that team number.
Yeah, 17 for 18 on passing on passes is very genuinely is really impressive. I mean, this has on here 94% pass accuracy. That's real good stuff. That's what you want from the midfield.
Yeah, well, and he also led the team in total tackles as well.
Yeah.
So just a very solid game from him.
There's we talk about a lot of these guys and then we don't talk about some of them. I feel like Okech is, a name that we don't hear too often. It is a name that Hayes throws around in the videos for sure. But it's not a household name, I would say, as compared to Mwaniki and maybe Uma and Salehi and Kamau and some of those guys, right? So let's just shout out Okech, man. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that you mentioned in this, just in that statement there, Salehi, back in the lineup.
Back.
He's back. What are they calling him, Shu?
They're calling him the Tanzanian Terror.
Whew. Oh, man. I mean, it's good to have a guy like that back. He comes off the bench in this one. He subs in. I think he played just fine. He's one of the better guys. We definitely have been missing him. We saw him get a shot off. It wasn't on target, but he did get a shot off from that right wing position. And I think going forward, it's going to be really important to have him back. No Govid in this game either. Also important to note. We talked about him. Maybe it's been injuries. Maybe it's just been a lot of games. No real full explanation to his absence in that one, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, let's just look at this from a bird's eye view, right? You're playing on hard dirt. You're playing. I mean, they were playing 3-4 games a week. And I mean, and just in general soccer, football terms, I mean, that's an excessive amount of time on a pitch in a game environment, right? So is he picking up knocks? Yes, he probably is. I would like to think that this is also damage mitigation as well, right? Like let's preserve our talent. Let's rotate the guys around as much as possible. And I know that there's more breaks in our schedule after getting eliminated from that kind of politician tournament, right?
Right. And I think important to note, moving forward a little bit here, it doesn't stop. Yes, we lose the tournament midweek, but now we come into a Saturday-Sunday back-to-back.
Man.
Yeah, so the boys are going to get Mbakasi United on Saturday. They recently beat Mentors FC, who is the third-place team. So this is a very good side. They are currently number 1 on the table. So maybe a chance for the boys to go in and do what they did to Westlife here.
Yeah, I mean, this is look, we say this every single week, but is a prove-it game not the word to use here? I mean, look, we currently sit 10th in the table. 10th in the table, we're at 21 points. We're 14 points out of first and 15 points out of relegation. So we sit pretty much right smack plumb in the middle. And look, if we want any chance at promotion, we got to be able to compete with these top dogs. We got to be able to, prove that we belong. So you can't say it any better than that, right? Look, these guys have won 11 games. They're experienced, and we also have to bear in mind that we have a game the next day as well. This one is indeed at home, and I do believe it'll be streamed. And words from Hayes is that this is going to be a big one.
Oh yeah, it absolutely will be. I mean, you get to host number one after taking down number one at home. Like, this is, oh man, that's exciting. Like, it should be a great environment. I think it seems like, the boys are generating a little more hype now that they're finally back on track, winning some games. I would expect Mahika Primary to be an absolute movie on Saturday.
Yeah, let's get the hot dog cart out there, baby.
We need to see it.
I mean, let's feed these fans. Maybe, get them rowdy, get them going, and let's make this something worth watching, right?
Absolutely.
Do you want to go ahead and
straight into Sunday?
Yeah. Roll us into Sunday.
We get to take on one. I think this is one that the podcast has been waiting for a minute. I think I speak for all of us when I say that. We get the Terror Squad at the Terror Squad. They most recently beat Pack University, who sits 14th on the table. So, it's a win. I think that the score of that game was 5-3. Is that right, Shu?
That's correct.
Yeah, so high scoring affair. I think we've seen that quite a bit with Pack, though.
Yeah.
Not a lot of defense going on. It's like an NBA All-Star game.
Yeah, I mean, they are college, right? So the name says.
Yeah, and that's how I understand it. But yeah, so the Terror Squad, Shui, do you mind talking a bit briefly about kind of their background?
Yeah, the way Matthias described it to us is that they're a former top side, maybe not, top flight, but they are a very experienced side, and the way I understand it is that the boys do really respect this team, not just for the name, not just for the Terror Squad.
Not just because they're called the Terror Squad.
No, not just for the, the aura that comes with being called the Terror Squad. But yeah, look, this is an experienced team, and, like what Matthias said, this is a team that has experience in higher leagues, right? And they've kind of fallen off recently. But look, I believe they're in 6th. What are they at? 26 points, and they are 7-5-5. So really, they sit about at the same level as we do, despite the 3-point appeal that we are still waiting on. So, look, I mean, this one's going to be at Terror Squad, and I'm excited. I think that's the word I would use. I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tricky, and I think the boys are going to have to be scrappy. They're going to have to, extend the elbows a little bit. They're going to have to be willing to play physical with these guys, and I think that, anything's on the table. You want to expect a win, but at the end of the day, it just depends if you're a half empty or a half glass full kind of guy.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think on that note, Shui, let's go ahead and get some predictions going. What do you think for that Saturday home game against Embakasi United?
Look, I see two things. I see a 1-1 draw. I see a 2-1 Kahawa win. Mm-hmm. And again, this goes back to my glass empty, glass half full analogy, right? I would say I'm more of an optimist. I think Kahawa takes that one. Give me Kahawa 2-1.
Kahawa on the home pitch 2-1. I like it. All right, I'm 0 for right now. I still haven't seen one fall, and that's okay. I think that this is a winnable game. It's going to be a tough game. I would be very okay with seeing a draw, though. I think at home, it seems like we tend to put the ball in the net a little more. I like a 2-2 Embakasi Kahawa draw.
Okay, that's a prediction, and I don't want to speak for Kelson because he's not here, unfortunately. He couldn't make it today. But, I would say he's more of a glass half empty kind of guy. Right?
You think he's predicting a Kahawa loss?
I think so. Let's not put a score next to it because I don't have his prediction. Yeah. But we'll go ahead. I think he would predict a loss for this one. And we spoke with Matthias briefly before recording this, and he said, look, the fact of the matter is, if we could come out of this weekend with 2 points from this weekend, he would be pleased.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, it's a toss-up, right? The betting odds, they'd be even, right? So, I mean, it just, to me, it just could go either way, right?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. Now, with that being said, what do you think about Sunday against the Terror Squad? On the road, tough game,
Yeah.
good side.
I think this game has the same exact outcome as the Soweto game. The Soweto All-Stars 1-1 on the road. Maybe we'll see some gray dirt. Who knows? But I expect a tough environment, expect a veteran side, and I think a 1-1 draw. You know, if you can go on the road and get a 1-1 draw, I think that's a win in our book. Look,
Yeah.
what we say back in the States is if you can win all of the games at home and draw all of the games away, you're doing pretty good, right? You're doing what it takes to, win a championship, get
Yeah,
promoted.
I personally say that if you win all your games, you're doing pretty good, but that's just me.
Yeah, you do say that, but look, I like to be an optimist, but at the end of the day, I think this is going to be a tricky one, right?
Yep, I would have to agree.
Let's go ahead and hear your prediction.
Yeah, like you said, it's a tough game. But I think that we can roll into this one and be all right. Obviously, the Terror Squad's coming off of a very hot week. They, like I said, put up a lot of goals. We're not going to see that. I'm hoping that Govid Otieno's back.
Yeah, I was going to say something about that.
And if that's the case, I love a 1-0 Kahawa win. Something light. I don't think we're going to be the ones to really push that tempo and score a bunch of goals. I think we're just going to control this game and take it 1-0, play a very smooth defensive match, and just find a way to get one in.
Yeah, and I like that you added the kind of the Govid Otieno thing, right? I think that's important. These games all depend on availability. Look, if I had it my way, I would put Waniki as the 9. I'd put him as kind of a false 9, and I'd put Kamau on the right, and I'd put Salehi on the left. And maybe we see Bwiri off the bench as a super sub again, right? But the important thing is that we have Otieno and Govid in the back line. Because I think when those two are on the field together, it's just almost like it's like a blanket. Like they just cover the entire field. And in the lead, it's not just the fact that they defend and they blanket the offense. Or the opposing offense. They lead these guys. And I think that the other players respect Govid. They respect Otieno. And I
think you have to.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so much more than just what they provide, physically and skillfully. There's so much more there.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you on that. I think that, this is a chance. If we have all of our guys going, hopefully Salehi slots back into the starting lineup this week. I would love to see that. I think he's so much of a game changer, and I think we will see that if he does get to slot back in. Man, this is going to be a fun team to watch when we've got all of our pieces going at once.
Yeah. And can I just say that Kahawa earns Salehi back? Because from what we've heard, it was a struggle to get Salehi back. It was a
process, yeah. That is what we heard. It was a process to get him back, but he's here.
He's here. He's ready to go. He's fit. He's in condition, and he subbed in last game, right? I think we expect at least a start, maybe 75, maybe a full 90. Who knows? But the Tanzania Tears going to be back on the field. If Otieno's there, if Govid's there, I think we'll be doing pretty all right. And I think, again, I don't want to speak for Kelson, but we'll try and fill you in on what his official predictions are. I would say that Kelson's probably going to predict a draw as well.
Might be so. And you guys, like you have been, feel free to put your comments, put your predictions in the comments below. We love to look at them, see if anybody else gets it right, or if you guys are like me and can't hit.
And keep track. Like, drop your record too. Like, if you guys have previous predictions, or maybe just moving forward, like, drop your record. We'd love to see, where you guys stand, how you guys compete with us, because at the end of the day, like, we have the stats and stuff, but it's not optimized like it is in the States, right? So it's just a guessing game at the end of the day. We don't know who's going to show up, and we don't know how the players are going to play.
Yeah.
So
Exactly
The
right.
prediction game is as fun as it can get. So yeah, feel free to drop those below. That was worth mentioning. And as we wrap up here, I just wanted to take a moment just to say, we appreciate you guys tuning in. It's been a few weeks since, we've been back, and again, feel free to check us out. We're on everything now. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on everywhere you get your podcasts. Feel free, show your support. It does a wonder. Show support to Jersey Bird, of course, and we appreciate all of you guys for listening, and just stay tuned for more. It's an exciting time right now.